Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Hunter Starcraft, and today I'm lucky enough to cast a match on Scrap Station. It's been so long since I've casted a match on this particular map. It's not in any tournaments, it's not in the GSL, I just don't see it enough. And it's a good map, it's a classic map, map from the beta, so I'm excited to see these two guys duke it out here at the 12 o'clock position. We have our blue Protoss player. We just had a shot of him 1 second ago as Liquid.HuK. He calls good luck, have fun, good game at the bottom of the screen there. Liquid.HuK. Tip-top foreigner, best foreigner you could make the argument for, especially with two recent gigantic tournament victories, including DreamHack. Unbelievable performance from Liquid.HuK, and I would expect that our Zerg player, NosLoki, our red Zerg player at the 2 o'clock position, is, you know, he's going to have his work cut out for him. He really is. Liquid.HuK is a top-tier Codes, and he's actually, that's pretty funny what he's saying in the chat. He says, all Koreans who say, I am your fan, stream cheat me. So chances are HuK is streaming this game, and that little smiley from HuK is just tears as if he's upset, and then those reverse mirrored image Fs are laughter. It's laughter in Korean. We have a pretty early scout here from Liquid.HuK. He's going to see exactly what's going on. Huge APM advantage to HuK as well, of course, because NosLoki is typing right now, and Loki's saying how many times HuK has defeated him in the past, so he says he's not his fan. Oh no. A couple of chrono boosts going down on the Nexus, just boosting out some probes. The first gateway going down to the top of the ramp. Spawning pool now. This is a spawning pool, well, extractor first, spawning pool second, I do believe. Just a slightly delayed fast expansion, which, I mean, surprises me just a little bit, because on a map like Scrap Station, you can secure your natural quite easily. But it just seems like NosLoki wants to go for a safer build. First assimilator now finishing up, and what is HuK going to be using his, you know, additional chrono boost on? We'll have to wait and see. He's going to be spending more on gas at this, or sorry, on workers at this point, and he did just use a chrono boost on the Nexus as we left the base a moment ago. Spawning pool now just finishing up, and Cybernetics core going down at the top of the ramp. HuK is also putting down his second assimilator. First Queen on the way, and just one drone on gas there, I believe. Of course, after getting enough gas to start the metabolic boost, NosLoki took a couple of the drones off gas, put them back on minerals. HuK asks, why random? That's interesting. I wonder if NosLoki actually picked random select for this particular match. Funny. Fun. Ah, okay. Liquid.HuK not only playing a game of Starcraft, also giving a little English lesson to NosLoki. It's actually pretty cool, though. A lot of Koreans are actually quite good English speakers as well. It's very important. English being the #1 world-dominated language. I think Chinese is the #1 first language for people, and then English is just the #1 language overall. HuK says that lots of Korean people say the word funny instead of fun. So cute. More laughing. These guys having a good time. These guys are really enjoying this ladder matchup today, as there are some, they're not speedlings yet. They will be in about 10-12 seconds or so. But we got some Zerglings poking at the front door, but they don't want to get, you know, caught up in the mix with that Zealot Sentry combination. Warp Gate research now halfway complete, and the expansion for NosLoki as well. About 3/4 the way done, that natural hatchery. Ooh, are these speedlings going to force a cancel on this Nexus? HuK's got to get some units down here in a hurry to deal with that. He's got 2 sentries and 1 zealot. Kind of playing ring around the rosy with the speedlings. Ooh, are they going to get a sentry kill? Yes, they do take out 1 sentry. Pretty well worth it. Sentries, very expensive units, very gas-heavy units, and it's good to take out the early ones because they don't have the opportunity to bank additional energy. Droning up pretty hard. 6 drones on the way. Of course, NosLoki feeling pretty safe to do that, and it looks like the 4 gate is spotted, putting down a 5th gateway now as well. Actually, this is going to be our Protoss player producing off of 5 warp gates and 2 bases. Expect even more production facilities in the next couple of minutes as well. We got 4 or 5 drones Maynarding down to the natural. The 6th one already waiting there. A Queen is done already. Overlord pops out as well. We actually have another, I'm wondering if he's still at 5 gates or what. I just see 2 gateways finishing up on the production tab. We'll get a shot of that in just a second. Okay, so it is just going to be 5 gateways and maybe a robotics facility next. Get an OBS out. I'm wondering where HuK is sort of going to take this build from here. He's moving out now with 6 sentries, 1 Zealot, putting a pylon down on the high ground. Of course, you can warp in units on the low ground as well. Nice pylon placement. HuK regaining map control, going to pick up this Xel'Naga tower in the middle. 3 Zerglings do run by. So those Zerglings heading up to the main base of HuK. Oh, they turn around there, coming back now. We're going to try to defend against this 6 sentry, 1 Zealot combination here. Is Loki, I'm just going to call him Loki. I'm assuming Nos is a clan tag. Is Loki going to be able to defend this? Oh, look at those flashlights. Nice sentry micro. Takes out a Overlord. You can actually barely even see the sentries attack when you do the scoot and shoot with sentries. A common micro technique where you move and then press stop and move, stop. That kind of micro. Keeping an eye on the production tab, we do see that the lair is now just popping for our Zerg player. He's also getting more gas at his natural. Just macroing up more units is HuK. Still no additional production facilities. He's just been pumping units out off of 5 warp gates. No observer, no robotics facility. Lots of upgrades from our Zerg player. He's getting burrow. He's getting roach movement speed. He's pumping out 7 roaches as well now. And probably going to be looking to engage shortly. Oh, look at this hero Zealot trying to take out as many Zerglings as he can. The final Zergling, though, does kill the Zealot. I'm wondering what HuK really wants to do in this game. I mean, he's on 2 base, the Zerg player's on 2 base. Still chrono boosting out more workers, warping in a ton of stalkers, starting to take out these destructible rocks. And we got these roaches taking out the destructible rocks as well. Uh-oh. Observer here going into videographer mode. Look at this. Nice little bridge, horizontal passageway here. Oh, and the Protoss army turns around. Doesn't look like they want to engage that many roaches. It would not be a cost-effective engagement unless HuK... Oh, and now that he's got reinforcements, it's a bit more viable. And this is a pretty narrow choke point, especially when you have that many sentries. You can use force fields to pretty easily section off the roach army. Now, Loki is really going to have to pick up a 3rd base soon, or he is going to be in trouble economically soon. 1 creep tumor goes down, 1 overlord goes down, the force field's going down as well. Burrowed roaches, and look at that, as I mentioned before, no robotics facility, no observer, no way to spot these burrowed roaches, and HuK is forced to go all the way home. I mean, he doesn't have a choice until he gets an observer out here. And you can see the robotics facility on the production tab now halfway done. Gold base going up for Loki as well. Loki feeling comfortable enough to pick up a 3rd base, and good timing too. He knows that he's pretty invulnerable until there is an obs on the field. So what better time than to pick up an additional base? There's a spire on the way as well. Lots more roaches popping out for Loki. Now that this robotics facility is just completing warp-in right now, 5 more stalkers getting warped in. And I'm looking at the production tab, and just a moment ago it said that there were 2 hatcheries in production. This is one of them. I'm wondering if he started putting down like an in-base macro hatch and canceled it. Oh, no, the macro hatch just popped there. So, Loki does have a macro hatch at his natural. He's going to be producing units off of 4 hatcheries and only mining off of 3 bases. Of course, with that much income, though, you need the extra larva from the extra hatchery, extra queen inject. These hero zealots wandering way too far from home. Some nice force fields, and now this observer, you can see it overhead, getting in position, going to spot the burrowed roaches. These stalkers going to target them down really quite quickly. This kind of unit composition will just devour roaches quite rapidly, especially as the upgrades begin to kick in. Now, we'll get a shot of these units and find out what kind of upgrades they have in a moment, but just hold that thought. We've got 6 spine crawlers. Look at them. Perfect timing with those spines. They're all popping. They're going to fend off HuK's army, and a counterattack as well from HuK. A counterattack from Loki, catching HuK's army sort of in the middle of the map, doing a little bit of damage with those roaches before he flees. Now, okay, I just saw for the Protoss player, no upgrades for the Protoss ground army. He's only just starting +1 attack here at the 13.5-minute mark. A little bit late for HuK. But at the same time, Loki doesn't have a ton of upgrades either, so HuK may be safe for a little while. These Mutalisks do a ton of damage. They focus down 3 Stalkers very quickly, and now they're starting to take out the drones. We do have 11 Mutas here, pretty uncontested at this point. HuK scrambling to get any units back in position. He's warping in more Stalkers at this natural mineral line. He's running his Stalkers that now have blink finished, and we all know blinking Stalker is going to be a hell of a lot more effective against this type of Mutalisk play than Stalkers without blink. So, at least for the meantime, HuK seems to be pretty safe, but he's still got these Mutalisks, you know, looming out and about around his natural, and just getting all that map control. That's what Mutalisks allow you to do. They give you that valuable resource of map control. +1 attack, flyer attack now on the way, just started though. The +1 ground for those Stalkers is going to be completed any moment. It's going to really help against these Mutalisks as well. Guardian Shield, might I add, as well. Very powerful ability against Mutas, because the Guardian Shield gives you a +1 bonus armor, and that completely nullifies the splash damage that Mutalisks do, the glaive that bounces a couple of times. Guardian Shield completely nullifies that. We got 3 cannons up in position as well, although I think they could have been spread a little bit better. It's hard to say, because the second you spread cannons, they're going to get focused down far more easily by the Mutalisks, but having them all clumped up in one spot, as we saw at HuK's natural, makes it they just have less surface area covered. So, you know, there's costs and benefits of each one. 4 more Mutas on the way. The +1 flyer now half complete. +1 armor for the Protoss player as well for his ground army. HuK, yeah, nearly completing that armor upgrade. Gonna macro up more units and try something here, but might I add, HuK is really falling behind slowly. He is not building another Nexus. He is not at all trying to get a 3rd base, and as a result, I do think HuK is going to be forced to go all in, and we do have these cannons getting focused down. It's just not enough. There are too many Mutalisks there. Those Stalkers aren't going to be enough. The cannons get taken out. Look at these Stalkers forced all the way home. HuK appearing to be very indecisive at this point. All of these probes get focused down, and those Mutalisks have just done a ton of damage, and at the cost of what, like maybe 5 Mutas? They kill a ton of cannons, ton of Stalkers, ton of probes. Just so much damage done. Look at those fancy Stalker Q play there, as we do have Stalkers on the high ground. I'll show you those in a second. These Mutalisks just poking at any weak points in the armor of HuK. We can see that these Stalkers now on the high ground near the gold base, they can't be spotted without this El Naga watchtower there. It's going to be hard to actually kill those Stalkers, but at the same time, those Stalkers are not in a threatening position either. So these Stalkers here, though, where all the probes should be, and this kind of sucks for HuK, as he's only able to attack this gold base now with just about half of his army. He's got a ton of Stalkers still stuck at his main. These Speedlings pouring forward, forcing the Stalkers to blink back. A couple of Immortals, some Sentries as well, and a couple of Zealots in the mix. A lot of these drones are getting focused down, and it does look like we have a counterattack. NosLoki seems content to just sack his gold base. He already got some pretty decent mining there. He's now countering up right into the natural of HuK, and there's not a lot to defend there. Oh man, just HuK is taking a ton of damage now. There are no Stalkers to defend here. And there's another engagement down here at the potential 3rd base. Back at the natural. Look at this. Mutalist versus Stalker. And it's not often that you see the Mutas win, but the Stalker count is really dwindling here, as NosLoki is forcing HuK to just split his Stalkers all over the map. Defending multiple counterattacks, defending Mutalisk harass, and then forcing HuK to try to shut down that gold base. And here we go, some Guardian Shields go up as he's trying to break the front door. At the same time, NosLoki once again counterattacking, forcing HuK to decide how many units to split and how exactly to do that. Look, and HuK is forced back once again. HuK realizing with these reinforcing Speedlings at HuK's natural that he is not going to have enough to defend here. He is forced to withdraw, and oh man, a missed rally point for those 2 Immortals there. Those Immortals should not be hanging out with the Mutalisks. Never a good fight. They are going to get taken out. Mutalisks heading over to the main base, and HuK is forced to call GG. So NosLoki really picking HuK apart, forcing him in all different directions, forcing the Protoss player HuK to make decisions. How many units, how many Stalkers do I need in my main? How many do I need to defend the natural? Do I counterattack the gold base of NosLoki? Am I going to go up the bridge in the middle of the map? All those little decisions, and just forcing HuK to make them, and the Mutalisk harassment. Oh man, there's actually a lot of really nice little techniques that NosLoki used to seal this victory, and certainly a lot to learn as we see this Zerg player take out one of the best Protoss players in the world, Liquid.HuK. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast. Stay tuned for more, and once again, I'm Hunter Starcraft. Peace out.